This is Jenkins Farms.
Good morning. Can you see the excitement on my face? Why am I excited? Because yesterday afternoon we got basically caught up for a couple of days. That's this much excitement, but this much excitement is because today is July 2nd and we're going to boil peanuts, our first boiling of the year. I know some of you don't understand the excitement, but my goodness, we wait on this all year. It's just like waiting on Christmas. It's the same thing. It seems like it takes forever to get here. Well, guess what? Same way with boiled peanuts that are in season. So these are this will be the first batch that we boil for the year. So what I thought I'd do is, a lot of you have questions, don't understand how to do it. I'm going to teach you how to do it today. Part of it is getting peanuts that are green and immature. So you can't just go to the store and buy peanuts that have already been roasted or that are dry or old or anything like that. The trick is getting young, green peanuts fresh out of the ground. So for peanut farmers like myself, we do that every year. We'll go out and pull some up out of the ground, pick them off, wash them off and boil them. But there are a couple of local farmers here in our area that's part of what they do for a living. That's part of their farming operation. They have green peanut operations. One is Holland Farms and the other one is Lowry Farms. This morning we're going to go visit Lowry Farms because they're on our way home. What they do is they plant their peanuts a lot earlier in the year than what most people do, like me, that plant them for a dry harvest. They plant them for green peanuts purposefully. That's a big word there. Purposefully. And they start planting a lot earlier than we do. Like they may risk it and plant an acre or two in February or March, whereas we don't usually start planting till the end of April or 1st of May. That's when we get our best yields. But they're not as concerned about yield as they are having peanuts for the 4th of July. Their goal is to have peanuts coming off so that people can buy them as they're celebrating the 4th of July. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to take you to Lowry Farms, introduce you to him, show you what they do. We're going to get us some green peanuts, and at the end of the video, I'll give you a recipe and show you how to boil peanuts. See you soon. All right, everybody, this is Mr. Frank Lowry. We're here with him today. His place is just down below Jay on Shamuckla Highway. Thank you for doing this morning, Mr.
Yes,
Frank.
sir.
Tell us a little bit about how you got started and what all we're going to get to see this morning.
Well, I've been farming. I'm soon be 70 years old. I've been farming all my life. My dad farmed. We farmed. We had a dairy. We farmed corn, soybeans, cotton, peanuts, and now I farm only corn, peanuts, sometimes cotton, according to what the prices is. But it's good to be able to farm. The peanuts is my money crop. We farm. We don't have but I believe it's 450 acres of peanuts this year, but I rotate with corn, and it's a pretty good rotation, corn and cotton. And I started this green peanut business 20 years ago. I've always planted peanuts. It's more of the cash crop, money crop, year after year. Some years sort of a break-even crop, but year after year it's going to be your money crop. I've farmed peanuts now with the green peanuts and bringing them to the barn. It's pretty a long drawn out thing to get them on the table for eating. We plant them in the spring, early as we can.
How early is that?
Well, we get to let the frost. We still having frost, but we try not to have no more freezes. I plant February and March. First plant. Last season in 2019, I was able to put them in February, and I gathered them in. Started gathering them in mid-June.
But your regular peanuts that you plant for dry peanuts, you don't plant those near as early, right?
No, I don't start until the 1st of May.
It's too risky.
Yeah, it is, and the crop seems to be a little bigger yield. Planting them in May. We don't have quite the yield with these green peanuts starting in March, but we have a peanut earlier for the customers.
And your goal is to have them by July 4th? I mean, is that?
That is pretty much it. We have had them in mid-June, 2 or 3 years out of this time, but dry weather, I don't irrigate. I let the good Lord take care of that, water them for me, and He's been good about that. The first peanuts this year came in June the 27th, I believe it was. We started, and they've been real good, and we're gonna have probably a 2-ton yield time we get a green weight, but it'll improve as the days go longer than the other plants. I start 1st of March or later in February, and I plant every 2 weeks, every 14 days. I'll plant another crop to where I'll have peanuts continue coming in at a young age. I'm fixing to go plant here in just a little while, and this here's July the 3rd.
Yep.
This is July the 3rd today. I'm fixing to go get on the tractor and planters and plant some today for our first October peanuts. It takes around 90 days. These peanuts we're washing today they took 123 days old today, and we've had a dry streak, and it burned the peanuts off. It's so dry they couldn't go in the ground, and but we having plenty of moisture now, and we're getting a good crop so far, and the vines are looking good. But anyway, we dig every day except for Sunday. We try to keep a peanut in here. So far, we've been blessed with that. But
for our viewers, just for a little, so they'll know what's going on. The peanuts that you and I usually plant for dry peanuts, they usually take about, roughly 135 days to mature.
Right.
And you said you like 90, and that's what the viewers need to know. You can't wait till the end of the season to decide you want to boil some peanuts, because they won't be any good. I mean, what we're looking for is basically young, green, immature peanuts.
That's correct, and you can't go at a field and dig them before. I have dug some at 70 days, but all the conditions got to be right. You got to get the moisture, you got to have the heat, your heat there, and I have dug as early as 70 days from planting time, but that's very, very, very seldom you get to do that. Most of the time, on average, it's around 90 days.
Okay.
Now, it's the variety I plant too. I have a variety called Viragard, and I've kept them in this now for 20 years, the same seed, and they're still doing good. But we have some like all the other farmers plant. Also, it's a smaller peanut, and they usually 90 to 100 on their time limit, and they are a good tasty peanut also.
Good deal. So we came out back here to take this video because it's not quite as loud, but in a second we're going to go in here and look in their barn where they're actually cleaning peanuts. So this morning you went and dug some peanuts? Yeah,
I dug them a little earlier on account of the rain. It was raining when I stepped out the door this morning at daylight, and I went to the field, and it wasn't raining at that particular field. So I dug, inverted them, and got back on the picking tractor and picked them and had them on the truck at 7 o'clock.
And for all the farmers that are watching this, the equipment's the exact same. The digger and the picker, he's just picking them right behind the digger. So
yeah, so you do a little more adjusting.
Right.
The picker, you have to tighten up on your stripper fingers to get the peanuts off the green vine, It's not a dry vine, it's a green vine. Can't have much moisture on the vine to stop your picker up. Can't have a lot of wet dirt to stop your picker up. Run your peanuts out the tail end of the picker. But it's not a everyday thing that you can jump out and do it. And I plant fields in the different areas, try to have a field that you can get in without being too wet.
Kind of spread your risk a little bit.
Spread your risk, exactly right.
What about the equipment we're going to see in here for the older farmers? You're going to see an old Hustler peanut picker that that he turned into a washing and cleaning machine, and then they'll have a little conveyor belt with people picking what few bad peanuts are there out. But that's not stuff you go to the store and buy, is it? Was that?
No,
how'd you come up with that?
That's something that we've used 30 or 40 years ago, and kept it in around under the barn, and stuff rust and around here anyway. We're not far from the salt water, and the equipment rust and does away pretty fast. So we keep those old machines just in case we want to do something like this. And I was able to get a hold of this one and redone it this year, and it's running well. It's a Hustler peanut combine, and we cut it down. It looks a little different than when it come off the assembly line, but it does the job. We put extra stemmer saws on it to pick the pegs off the peanut, and then when they hit the screen, wash them off, and then they come up the assembly line. We pick out what pegs the stemmer saws didn't get, and then they come on up the line, and we pick out any corn cobs or anything else that might have picked up out of the field, rocks or whatever, and we want a good clean peanut come into the bag, and then
they're definitely clean.
from then on we go to the pot and boil for a boiled peanut, or either we put them in a bag and we got a customer waiting on them to take home and boil.
So when we look at this in just a minute, we're going to see a lot of people in there working. I notice it takes a lot of people to do this. Can you kind of tell us just a little bit about kind of how many pounds or how many tons you can clean at one time or in a day, or however you do that, and kind of how many people you typically have working for you to keep this operation going?
Right. Well, it's a lot of labor involved. It's not a job you can do by yourself. Now, I got up this morning and I went and dug and inverted the peanuts, turned them up to where I could see them, and then picked them by myself. But when you get to the barn, I have 10 to 15 employees, part-time employees, and we probably have around 4,000 pounds on the truck when it comes in. And some days we'll go out and get another truck. Most of the days, everybody's give out by the end of the day, so we make it a day unless we got customers that needs more, and then we go back and get another load. But and it all depends on the quality of the peanut. If we have to do more picking, then we have less peanuts coming up the line, and then it takes a little more work. But that's pretty much it once we get in here.
Okay. Well, we'll go around here and take a look at your equipment and let you get back to work. I know there was people lined up coming in here. I told some people on another forum that I was talking on that this time of the year for me is like Christmas every year. I can't wait. It seems like it'll never get here for that first peanut boiling of the year. You feel like Santa Claus a little bit? All these people are always so happy to see you, aren't they?
They enjoy it, and they want them by the 4th of July. Sometimes I get them earlier, but it's like candy to them. And I just thank my customers, and they're very good customers over the years, and they bringing their families back, and I appreciate that.
All right, well, let's go in here and see what you got going on in the barn.
Yes, sir.
All right, so here we are. He's about to boil a pot full of peanuts. How much salt you putting in there?
2 boxes to 50 pounds.
2 boxes to 50 pounds. So if you look, they've already got them filling up this one, about to put some in there. Here's some that's been boiling. You can see they have a whole slew of them lined up going. How long are you gonna boil them for?
Hour and a half after they start boiling.
And then how long will you let them soak?
All day.
All day?
Yeah, they won't get to stay all day, so they stay all day. We don't take them out.
So about an hour, hour and a half, you start testing them and seeing if they're done, and then.
It takes about 40 minutes for the pot to come to a boil.
Okay.
And then after that, we turn them off, add cold water to it, and then sucks that salt in.
That's right.
So it'll take about 20 minutes and they're ready to go.
Very good. All right. There you go. That's his trick of the trade. Here we are. So for lack of a better term, we'll say this is an assembly line. So tell us a little bit about what you got. I see the peanuts in the hopper back there. They're dragging them out, going through the picker, getting washed, and then here they are coming up the assembly line, getting picked out and into the bags.
Yes, sir. We bring them into the barn. We get them out of the field, and we back up, do a little rinsing in the truck while they're in the truck, and then we got 40 spray nozzles, washing them when they come out and hit that screen. The machine is shaking, just like it did when we picked the peanuts in the field 40 years ago with it. It's shaking and it's shaking some dirt. And peanuts fall through the screens, some of the smaller peanuts. And then they come up the assembly line and they're picked by all these people, sometimes more than this. But they come up the assembly line and the last time they pick is right here at the end, and then they go into these bags here and right onto the cart. Well, look, to start with, they go on the scale.
Here's
the scale to get weight.
Here's the scale.
Still hear me? Yeah. Then on the cart, and then in the cooler.
How long will you keep them in the cooler before they're gone? Probably not very long.
Oh, sometimes all day. Sometimes there's a few in there at night. Most of them's gone there today.
What about when you were setting all this up? Was it hard to get your speeds right on everything, on the cleaner and the conveyor?
It was a nightmare getting the gear down to get the shaker matched up with the conveyor. And still, sometimes when we take the motor off and they mess with it, we still have to do a little adjusting.
A little fine tuning.
Fine tuning. But everything clicking today, and I just hope it keeps going. We got a lot of customers coming for this 4th of July weekend.
So here they are, just picking them, throwing them over here. They'll clean them and put them in the buckets and go feed the deer or something with them. But here's your finished product here. Beautiful. Not a bit of dirt or anything on them. Just good, clean peanuts. All right, Mr. Frank, we'll let you get back with it. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. I hope y'all learned a little bit today.
I hope everybody learned something. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
All right, it's finally here. We've been waiting on it for so long. We talked with Mr. Frank today. You got to see where the green peanuts come from. I have 10 pounds of them, which is a perfect boiling size for what we do. So the things that you're going to need to boil peanuts with: a tank full of propane, which wasn't full of propane earlier, but it's full of propane now. A burner, a nice clean pot. You see, I've already done the hardest part of the whole thing. Was, I know it's hard to believe, but we had to clean out from the last time we boiled peanuts last year. So got all that done. That's behind us. We have a nice clean pot on the inside. We're going to put the peanuts in. It's very simple. Just pour them straight into the pot. And like I say, 10 pounds does perfect because we got to have room for the water. Next thing I do is salt. Got to have plenty of salt. Some people use rock salt. I just use regular old salt. And for this size boiling, I usually use at least a half can, jug, whatever you want to call it. Just pour it all over the peanuts. Like so. Till it feels good. And then when you think you got enough, pour a little bit more in it. Now you got enough. So you want to use at least a half a container full of salt. Then of course we're just going to fill it up with water. And there again, just like if you were frying a turkey or something, you don't want to fill it completely full. So it's going to boil over. So I do this to wash the salt down. It dissolves the salt, gets it in the water good. Covers everything good. And just fill her up till it's about 2/3 or so of the way full. And then we'll light our fire. But while we're doing this, these are for just regular salted peanuts. Some people like to have Cajun flavored peanuts. So the only thing you do different there is you still put the salt in just like we did today, but you add some crab boil to it. So throw you a bag or two of crab boil in there, continue with the normal amount of salt, and boil them. So the next thing we gotta do is light our fire, if we can make it light. And it's not lighting. There we go. Of course, I'm one of those more is better, so I usually turn it wide open and end up boiling the pot over. And we set her on there good, in a good safe place, and let the peanuts boil. So what's going to happen is this is going to take, it's going to take a while for the water to begin boiling, just like Mr. Hudson said from the Lowry Farm. It takes his about, what do you say, 30 or 45 minutes to start boiling. But basically, about an hour and 15 minutes or so from now, from me putting them on, I'll start slowly testing them. So I get a peanut or two out, take the hulls off, eat them, and what we're looking for is the right texture, whatever texture you like. I don't like mine too mushy, but I don't like mine too crunchy. I like them right in the middle. So once the peanut, about every 15 or 20 minutes, you have to start checking them from that point on. They're not going to be as salty as you want them at that point, but you're looking for the right texture. So once you get the right texture, turn the gas off, turn the fire off, and let them begin cooling. Now, people have different opinions on that. Some people will put ice in there, like when you're doing a shrimp boil or something, and that's supposed to help take the salt or absorb the salt faster. I was raised just letting them cool naturally and continuing to test them. And once you get the right, you've already got them the right doneness. Once you get them the right saltiness, the right flavor, then you have to pour the water off. Another word of wisdom, that's salt water, so don't go pour it out in your yard because it's going to be a big dead spot. So dispose the water properly and then enjoy your peanuts. Whatever you don't eat then, put them in the refrigerator. They're good for 2 or 3 days like that. We always put some in the freezer to eat during football season or during the winter when it's the off season for peanuts, so that we don't ever run out. So right now, just keep watching your peanuts every few minutes. Make sure it's not boiling over. You're gonna have to turn the heat down just a little bit once it starts boiling. And then, like I say, about an hour and 15 minutes, hour 30 minutes from now, start checking. In the meantime, give it a try. I cannot believe the amount of people that don't even know this, and for us, this is a delicacy. I mean, we have been waiting. It's like waiting on football season. It's like waiting for September to get here so you can watch football, college football. It's the same way with the peanuts. It's like Christmas. I'm waiting. I cannot wait to eat these peanuts. Best thing ever. Anyway, be safe. Do something good for somebody. Have a good 4th of July. And eat more peanuts. Take care.
Say goodbye, Hank. Bye, Hank. Say bye-bye. Hank likes peanuts.
Oh my gosh. Merry Christmas. Oh. God.